Ranga. Friends, today we are going to see about some exclusive part of Srirangam Temple history. How the temple was attacked and how it recovered, who protected them, who were some of the unthinkable average heroes who stood there between the God, temple, dharma and the demonic forces. Who were they? And also we are going to see in this episode exclusively about Muslim Nachiyar, the devotee of the God, the Muslim devotee of the God, whose temple is there inside Srirangam Temple. Can you believe this? Okay, we are going to see that, and this shows you how inclusive our Sanatan Dharma and the inclusivity what the Srirangam Temple and the 108 Divyadesam standing for, and how it is so different from other the demonic forces. You know, it's incredible for you to watch. In early 1300, Vaishnava Divyadesams, Srirangam was attacked by Alauddin Khalji. Some of these histories you will never hear because of the vested interest outside. That's the purpose of this video also, so that we all can know what our history is, what our real history is, what our dharma stands for. Okay, and Alauddin Khalji's commander-in-chief Malik Kafur attacks Srirangam and loots it. All the gold, diamond, all the valuables from the temple, including the Ustava Murti, that is the god of the temple. They loot and they go to Delhi. Okay, this is very interesting for you to know. And there was a young girl there by name Valli. Many women even today in Srirangam, they follow the pattern of Andal Nachiyar. They don't take food unless and until they take the holy water in the temple. First they have to take the holy water. After that only they will eat. Otherwise they don't eat. Even this tradition is followed today within the women in Srirangam even today. Okay? So, one of that devotee was a young girl by name Valli, and she was devastated like any other devotees, and she goes behind this Islamic forces. Can you believe that? She goes all the way to Delhi. Okay, young girl, and she follows them and goes, and she wants to bring back the God. And there the Sultan's daughter, you know, they bring all the loot from the temple. The way the demonic force work is, you know, they bring all the loots and the ransack the valuables, and they melt the gold and they put it into the treasury, and this is how the Islamic force was working, you know. So the Sultan's daughter, she sees this vigraha of Ranganatha and she says, I want this to play. Okay, so the Sultan gives it to her to play, and she falls in love with Ranganatha. Okay, she falls in love, and every time she will eat only with Ranganatha. She will be always sleeping with Ranganatha, always playing with Ranganatha. Everything for her became the deity of Srirangam. Okay, and this girl Valli goes there, and she is going in search of deity Ranganatha. And she comes to know that it is with the princess of the Sultan. And she came to know now, and also she finds out what the Sultan is more interested in. And she comes to know that all the time he is rewarding all those people who come and dance, sing and all those things. So she comes back again to Srirangam. Can you believe this? This young girl goes from Srirangam in search of deity or Ranganatha and finds him. And also we talk about Hanumanji finding Sita. Can you believe this, folks? This is an average human being, average girl, Valli. Okay, and she finds it and she comes back to Srirangam. And every devotee in Srirangam, every Vaishnava, every devotee is devastated, missing the deity of Ranganatha. Everybody is searching for and all, and Valli comes there and says them that it is with the princess of Delhi. Okay, and she is playing with Ranganatha, so he is there. And so she also says that Sultan likes all the music, dance, everything. People always come there and do it and get reward and go. So they put a plan and go in a group, okay, so that they can do best of the best performance. South Indian art, art and dance. They will do it to Sultan and get the gift. So they are all going back. In fact, this group was led by Valli, okay, and she goes there and everybody goes there and they perform one of the best dance, and the Sultan was impressed. In the meantime, Sultan is getting frustrated because his daughter never eats without the deity, never sleeps without the deity. He is saying this is going too extreme. So he also kind of frustrated. He is thinking how to separate them. Okay. Now, by this time, this dance group goes there and does a best of the best dance. And Sultan asks what you want. And they say, we want the Vigraha. That is the deity of Ranganatha. Okay. And Sultan says, anything else you want? They say, no, we want only that. And he was happy in a way that his daughter won't be bugged down now. So when she is sleeping, he takes that deity and give it to these folks. Okay. Now they are coming back to Srirangam, and they know that the Sultan's mind can change any time. And what if he comes with the army? Who knows? The girl wakes up in the morning, creates a hangama. Who knows what will happen? It's a demonic force. Right? They don't work on set of principles or anything like that, as you know. So they divide themselves into 3 groups, and one of the group has only 3 people. And they take the deity because they don't want a lot of crowd going on the way to easily identifiable by the, by the Sultan army, in case if they come back chasing to get the deity from them. So this 3 people is a dad, son and a grandpa. They all are going in one direction with the deity. Now, the deity didn't reach so far because they have lost the way. They are on the way the son dies, and on the way the grandpa dies. So many people who were coming back to Srirangam, they were all dying on the way of walking and all those things. And now Valli comes there also. She sees no God in the temple. That is, Ranganatha deity didn't come to Srirangam temple yet. So she is all toned off. Not only that, she has walked to Delhi, come back and go back again, come back. Can you believe this? In the torturous journey through the forest and the animals and the insects, bites and everything, and she gives up her life on the feet of Srirangam Ranganatha. From there on, she is called as Pin Thodarda Valli. Pin Thodarda means in Tamil, it is called as the person who followed. Okay? She never left Ranganatha. She always followed him wherever he went till everything was okay and he was handed over safely. So she is called Pin Thodarda Valli. That means the Valli who followed. See, these are all not great heroes or, with a big 6-packs and all those things. These are all average human being, average young girl, but with a devotion in the heart. This is the story of Pin Thodarda Valli. Okay? And now, by this time, as soon as the Sultan's daughter, she wakes up, her name is Suradani. Okay? She wakes up and she finds Ranganatha is missing. And she's kind of very upset. She creates a big hangama. She says, her dad, I'm going to die, all those things and all. So the Sultan thinks it's a good idea for him to send the battalion and bring back the Ranganatha deity and hand it over to his daughter. His daughter doesn't believe the dad. You know how it goes in that set. So she comes along with the battalion because she has to identify the real deity. So she comes all the way. They come to the Srirangam Temple. But again, in the Srirangam Temple, so far the temple deity didn't reach because it is with the three people, who took them aside. So they have gone, they were lost and all those things. So the deity never reached so far in the temple. And so on seeing the Surdani, the Muslim princess was devastated. She was in love with Ranganatha. She cannot live without him no more. She was a devotee of Ranganatha. Okay, so on the steps of Ranganatha, Srirangam Temple, she gives up her life and merges with Ranganatha once for all. Okay, this is unbelievable. She gives up her life and merges with Ranganatha. Now this demonic force that came with her started ransacking the temple, everybody. There was a big massacre there in the revenge of princess dying. But you know what? The devotees stood strong and they opposed strongly, even though thousands and thousands of the Vaishnava devotees were killed, massacred. Even today you can see those places in Srirangam. But you know what? There were these average heroes, average men and women like Sthala Puran. They stood in the way of Dharma, temple and the demonic force and stopped them once for all. Okay, they never got feared. They never feared about the massacre that happened. They stood there because for them, they want to lay down their life for Bhagavan Ranganatha. That's what they did exactly. Okay, and guess what? Now thousands of them were massacred there, and you can even see the places now. Now the army goes back because they couldn't find the deity, and the princess died. Then in one of the butter's dream, butter is the pujari's dream, Ranganatha comes and says, the Muslim princess is also a devotee of mine. So she has to be considered as my Nachiyar. She will be called Tulukachi Nachiyar, that is the Muslim Nachiyar. Okay, so she has a place for the people to come and visit her there inside with a drawing. Okay, incredible. Today also, when the festival happens, when the Bhagavan comes around the temple, the butters lift him when he crosses Tulukachi Nachiyar area to give darshan to Tulukachi Nachiyar. And you have to understand Sanatan Dharma. Even today, during the Abhishekams, okay, Bhagavan wears lungi. Yeah, not the dhoti, it is called as lungi, that is popularly worn by the Islamic community. He wears it and there is a roti and milk that is being offered to him as a prasad in that time. Okay, like a Muslim boy. That's what it is. Okay, so this is the story of Tulukachi Nachiyar and Sthala Puran. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. Now, the story is not ending here. Close to 60 years, the deity was not here. Okay, still the Ranganatha deity didn't reach yet. And also you have to remember, the Bhattars and the Vaishnava army that was there, okay, the devotee army of Ranganatha was able to save Mata Ranganayagi. Okay, so what happened was, one of the Bhattars who are working there, he digs up a hole in the ground and puts Mataji there and closes it so that her deity doesn't go to the hands of the demonic forces. Now what happened to that? And every rest of it, the whole history of how the temple came back and how the deities came back, everything we will see in the next episode. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. Ranga Ranga.